Good morning, Year 4, and this is your maths video for if you've got this booklet on Thursday the 21st of January. Now for today's learning, we're going to turn to page 9, which is all about adding. And if you did yesterday's work, that was also about adding as well. So let's have a little look at our first question. So this is asking you to complete these addition tables. Now an addition table works a little bit like a multiplication table. So you work across the top and then down the side, and we fill in the box with the answer to those questions. So I've tried to highlight it so you can see how we figured that out. So the yellow highlight is 25 add 29, which equals 54. Okay, and then the purpley pink highlight is 37 add 29, and then we're going to put the answer to that question here. Now, I understand that these are a little bit tricky to figure out. So what I have done for this first one is I've written down all of the questions that you'll need to answer. So if you're struggling with using the addition table, you might want to pause the video with these up so that you can see the questions you've got to answer. Okay? And then once you've done those, you've got another one of those tables as well. But for this one, I'm not going to be writing those calculations down for you. See if you can figure it out. So by working across and down. Okay. Now question number 2, they want you to complete the sums below by writing the answers in numerals. So you'll notice that the questions are written using words. So they've represented our number by using words. And what you've got to do is you've got to read it, convert it to numbers, and then figure out that answer. So if I go onto my whiteboard, we can do one together. So you might have 65 add 3. So then you've got to convert that into numbers. So 65 add 3. And then you'll write your answer using numbers. Okay. And you've got 4 questions to have a go at like that. Question number 3 then is a little bit tricky because you've got some missing number problems here. It's asking you to fill in the gaps. Now to help you to do this, I would suggest using the inverse. Now the inverse of addition is subtraction. So the inverse means the opposite. Okay, so the opposite of addition is subtraction. And you'll notice that each of the questions have got 2 numbers in them. And what you're going to do is you're going to use subtraction using the 2 numbers in the question to find your missing number. So let's have a go at this first one together. So I'm just going to write it on my whiteboard. So we've got something add 7 equals 15. So the total is 15. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the inverse. So we're going to use these 2 numbers and we're going to take them away. Now remember, whenever we're taking away, we've got to put our biggest number first. So 15 take away 7. Now you can do that in your head, you can do that on your fingers, or you can do that using column method. I'm going to do it using column method so that you can see it on my whiteboard. Okay, you'll notice that I've put the 7 under the 5 as that's the ones column. Now if I've got 5, I can't take 7 away. So I'm going to go next door and get 10 more. Now we're going to do 15, take away 7, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So I've figured out that 15 take away 7 is 8. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check it. So I'm going to put it in the calculation and check now that that's right. So if I've got 8 and I add 7, does that get me to 15? And it does. So for the next 4 questions, you're going to use the inverse to help you, okay? your final question then, Year 4, is asking you to add together these pairs of numbers. So you've got two numbers and you're going to add them together. Again, it's completely up to you how you want to do it. You might want to do column method with one number on top of the other. You might want to do it in your head. You might want to do it by adding your ones together and then adding your tens together and then combining those. It's completely up to you. But please remember, once you have finished, to take a picture and send it to the Year 4 email address.